Friends, if you were to ask me what is common between Marvel movies like Spider-Man, Disney cartoon movies like The Lion King, and computer aided design and drafting software like AutoCAD, which is the best ever software program that is used by the architects and construction engineers for the purpose of creating maps, models, and designs of buildings, houses, and factories all over the world, then my response will be Blender. For all of these and many more purposes, like video editing tool like that of Adobe Power Director Pro, or creating a complete Hollywood movie on your own laptop, one can use a single open source free software program called Blender. This will be a short introduction to this most fantastic piece of marvel and wonder and free software program that I have ever come across in my life so far. Blender has one of the largest community contributing to its continuous updates and upgrades and reporting bugs, and also always available to help resolve issues of its users. So what is Blender? Well, Blender is many things like the Swiss knife, with countless more additional features which I will leave the rest up to you to do further research on your own. Blender has been very successful in creating careers and earning opportunities for millions of users all over the world, and specifically for Indian Blender specialists and professionals who make up the biggest group among the Blender community. So, what should be the motivation behind learning Blender? Well, it will be impossible to count all the reasons. However, I will try to mention a few. Tremendous, huge future growth. Seeing Blender's popularity and earnings potential rising so fast, the big corporates like Disney, Nvidia, Apple have lately jumped on Blender's bandwagon. Consequently, with the budget for R&D running in hundreds of millions of dollars, the interest in Blender has seen exponential growth, and its community has too expanded to millions of users worldwide. In my case though, it all had started many years ago as a hobby and has remained till date so. Reason being, Blender is not at all easy, although it's GUI based, and I am a slow learner. Further, I did not have any time to devote to learning Blender seriously, since a larger part of my time I have remained committed to my own career as IT tech support and consultant for Windows based applications. So, a natural question arises: if it is so highly difficult and complex to learn, then what is the purpose of my introduction of Blender to you? Well, before the arrival of the revolution called ChatGPT last year in November 22, I may never have recommended anyone to even try to learn Blender unless they were programmers or have had at least few years experience in the IT field. However, with the advent of the ChatGPT, these requirements have simply vanished, because ChatGPT has turned Blender and similar programming languages like C, Java, C++ into a cakewalk. So, what is the expertise level required for becoming a professional? Well, if you someday become a professional like Ryan, then in terms of earnings and career opportunities, only the sky is the limit. All the links are mentioned in the description. So, as mentioned, let's start with the demo of 5 simple steps of clicking and copy pasting. So, the first step is to go to this website and click on download Blender. The next step, after you have installed it on your laptop or computer, it will look like this when you click on the shortcut on your screen. So click on General and you will see, it starts with a cube. So simply now don't do anything. All you need to do is simply go to the ChatGPT and type in, as I have mentioned here, please can you provide a detailed Python script to create an aeroplane in Blender. So simply copy paste click on new and then paste. That's it. And then click on run. So as you can see here, an aeroplane appears. So click once more and there is some issue with it, and I am deliberately trying to show you, if you run into an issue in ChatGPT's script, then simply go back and copy paste the script the error message. So like I did, simply copy paste here and send a message. So I had received this error message, so I copy pasted, and ChatGPT is so polite, it apologized and then gave me the second script, which you will find in the description, where it was working, and I said thank you. Okay, that's all. So we go back to the Blender. So copy paste now the correct script, which is the second script, or you can copy paste the correct script also from the description. Then it will look like something similar to this. So what you need to do now is just simply try to sort of play around with it. That is the main purpose of getting to know what programming is, what Blender is. It is actually GUI based, and 90% of Blender's users, they always use Blender with the help of the GUI and not Python programming language. And I am using Python because it has simply become, with the help of the ChatGPT, a game changer. So all you need to do now, even, if you have children, who are afraid and don't know what programming is, because programming, learning to program can be a daunting, very scary for children, because they think it is very mysterious and, which is now been, finally made very easy by the ChatGPT. So all you need to do, if you are, a beginner yourself, look what programming is. It is also explaining everything. Clear existing dialog objects, create a mesh, everything. Of course, you will have to learn the terminology, So I would suggest just play around with it, because that is how you will, become more, confident about what programming is. So you can see here, I changed this value to 100. Very easy. And then click again. Now you will see it has become larger. So I cut it down to, let us say, 20. That's it. Click, click. Now it has become 20. So this is how you play around with it. And for example, a very funny thing is here, angle. So you put 2 on it, and then it will go in another direction. Rotation is like linear, and then change the values, because it's like a form, you fill it up like name, address, so you just need to first, change these values and see what happens, like here, if you put 5, what happens? Now something else is added, so that's it, just go around, up and down, see what it says, try to figure out. Don't, try to, do anything here, because that will become very daunting for you and you may lose interest. So the main purpose of my demo is to, especially to the youngsters, that, scripting or programming is not that, scary after all. I wish I had someone, told me this when I was learning Java and PHP and those, object-oriented programming languages, like 23 years ago. I wish somebody had explained and made it so easy for me, and then I would have waste, time. At that time, there was no Google, of course, even. So, guys, I would suggest to just go around and experiment with it. Nothing can go wrong. Especially, I am running this on VMware, ESX. That's why it is just virtual machine, and you can of course use virtual machines. However, it requires a bit powerful computer, because it is graphics, and so that is all. Just go around, put any number somewhere here and see what changes. So something changes, and then of course, if you become more expert, you can change this into, a very fantastic, colorful sort of, aeroplane. Okay, guys, thank you. Bye.